Hello and welcome to Minigame Monday. I didn't quite get a chance to make sure the music wasn't too loud before we started the stream. Okay. Hello and welcome. It is Monday, May 19th, right? 19th? Where's that calendar on my screen? Yes, the 19th. What's going on? We just finished Protospiel Online for May, and so we are all of us that attended, feeling the post-convention blues, I think, and maybe needing to get some extra sleep to make up for the weekend. But although I usually may not stream on the Monday right after a Protospiel, I've decided to this time for scheduling reasons. I don't want to take more than one off too close together, and I'm going to go on vacation shortly in a couple of, I don't know, 4 weeks or so. Don't quote me on that. It'll be in the schedule. But so thanks for joining us, Ashay. Everything that happened and what you missed. You're taking notes, okay? This stream is way delayed on what we're talking about, because we'll be talking about things that happened in August 2024. That's the puzzle we'll be solving today. I haven't had time to tally, I don't know, everything that happened this weekend yet. So the puzzles that will be coming out of people, the stuff that people brought this time, I need time to make the puzzles and kind of get everything scheduled. So they won't be coming out until the fall. And this is actually the last puzzle. Today we're doing the last puzzle from the batch of stuff that people brought in August. And it will be a Jigsaw puzzle. So let me get to this screen and share my screen. I didn't quite get it shared before I opened up the browser or opened up the stream. Okay, here we go. We should see it now. Yes, okay. So this is a Jigsaw puzzle that features titles that were shared in August 2024. Made with this tool called Amuse Labs, or Amuse Labs Puzzle Me. This is going to be the picture we put together, and we'll start the game. Okay, so this tool has my favorite way for sure to start a Jigsaw puzzle is with the edges, so I'll turn those on. And yeah, let me know if you're in chat, and feel free to say hello. I'll keep the chat going. And let me also grab you all. This is a puzzle that you all can play with too. Let me grab you the link and put it in the chat for you. Ashay says, sad you didn't get your game done in time. You can come and play even if your game's not done. You can get a play tester batch. And then you would know everything that happened over the weekend. And you would not have to have FOMO. Or you don't have to punish yourself for not finishing your game by not coming at all. But this is the link to this Jigsaw puzzle that I'm solving. And that's in the chat to click if you want to. Okay, back to looking at the puzzle, and we'll see what we can see. Okay, let me check this image. I'll read out what names got into this word grid. So this is a 5-part word grid. These are games that were posted to the website. Most likely prior to the event when we did the show, and they also would have been in our live stream, our showcase live stream. But if they were posted after the live stream, but during like the convention open hours, people who came a little late, those titles will get into these lists where I made this word grid to make a puzzle. And well, this is how we learn. Maybe next time. All right. And next time will be, by the way, August 22nd through 24th. And that date should be everywhere. One might be looking up what the next dates are, like in our bios on social and such. So I have been sharing the link to get badges, but now, well, we have a few steps that we do like after the convention, and the convention has only been over for like 12 hours, and I'm not sure if we've done all that by the time this replay is posted on YouTube. Certainly, there will be the badges page where you go to buy your badges. We'll have a prompt to get signed up to our newsletter, but or not our newsletter. I'm sorry, our future dates, our dates, the updates when we put badges on sale for the next time. So yeah, you are getting a little bit of the live convention experience, Shay, in that I'm fuzzy from having slept less than I normally do over the last 3 days, but and scattered. This link, I'll put this up. Oh, I don't. Okay, yeah, I thought saw something. This link, you can sign up for badge announcements. I'll leave that up if you're not on that list. Hi, Jack. Good to see you. Jack was with us over the weekend. Yeah, you forgive me for the post-con fog. Thank you. All right, so I'm back on. I'm going to read out the list of titles that are going to be in this puzzle. And then for a slight challenge, I'm probably not going to open this up very much. I'm going to try to just solve it without having this open while I'm building the puzzle. So, Tears of Joy, Insider Fruit Trading, Grunts, Golfer, Suitcase, Welcome to Sussburg, Cascade, Champions of Adenir, Otter, but therein lies the nature of a Hatter convention. That one was interesting to fit into a lot of things. A Taste for the King, Twin Tarot, Frank, Hollow, and We Live and Die Among the Stars. And a lot of these titles too, I recognize them, but off the top of my head, I can't remember if I've not played them with the person. Who the designer is. I feel like I've looked very recently at We Live and Die Among the Stars and seen the designer name, and it has not stuck with me who this is. This is the end of it. There's the stars. Oh, no, it's not. This is Among. Where's the D? Let's see. But some of the titles that are in this grid, I just played this weekend, so they came back. You told someone at Proto Indie about our bingo challenge, and they want to replicate it for Indie next year. Oh yeah. That was first done in Chicago by Maxine and Randy Eckel. And when I ran the one time I ran in Denver, I worked with them directly to use the same system they use for printing it out. And I'm sure they would be happy to help the organizers in Indy have that if they want. That was not going to be easy to share digitally. It makes like a PDF that you can print out the way that they did it then anyway, unless they've changed something. So back when I should have grabbed my bingo card. Maybe I can copy a picture of it and get it into the stream and show it to you, like copy a picture of it from Discord. But anyway, I'm interrupting myself. When we got started in 2020 doing it, I didn't I didn't want to deal with trying to figure out how to digitally give PDFs to people. So I found a tool that was just built for any, like, it really seems like a tool that's probably mostly used by school teachers. But yeah, it can be used to play, like, really play live bingo where everybody's paying attention at once, and you can see as the game master when a bingo happens. But people can mark it digitally, but most people at Protospiel Online don't, because it's very limited. You just only can, like, just put an X over it. But I have started writing names of people and like the designer in the game. So other people who have participated and they see me doing that also kind of do that. I think actually it was Emily LaRoche that first, printed it out and use it sort of as a journal of what she had played. And I got hooked on doing that too after I saw her do it. Okay, I got it. And that one word anyway. But yeah, so the one I use is called Bingo Baker, and it's an option for other Protospiels too. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, the Eccles tool is, like, really customized for exactly Protospiel's needs, and it might be the better option for all the in-person ones. But Bingo Baker is $15 for the most fancy ever, $15 forever for the most fancy version of it that exists. So I paid that once in 2020 and have been using it since then. This will be grunts. But yeah, I guess a story I can give you all that happened in my last 24 hours is that the new bingo cards, I added a lot of mechanics and themes and formats that I have seen from making these puzzles. So making these puzzles was actually really helpful for me to see a holistic picture of what type of stuff gets brought or what are some commonalities in the stuff that gets brought. So I was able to add more useful bingo matching stuff. And that got into the prototype listing tagging system. So by the time we get to the May games or the May puzzles that I'll do in the fall, we'll have more variety than you'll see for January when I start doing those puzzles next week. But part of that variety is there's a lot of mechanics that are action this, action that I added, and I ended up with 3 of them on my card. So that's what was charged it in 5 payments in a row. So $3, yeah. Maybe if people only had to pay $3, then they'd be more likely to buy it. Is that what you mean? But yeah, so I had both action drafting and action retrieval, and I think action points. Maybe I'll find my card and show it to you by the end of this. But and also I narrowed the designer first name, last name starts with to make more of them. And so my window for a designer name that was first name starts with D through F, and there were like maybe 5 people at the event that could have filled it. So I was chasing Derwent down. I was in the spirit of bingo, like, okay, I haven't played one of your games and I want to play one. And so we were, as Amanda said, crossing like ships in the night, but in like I guess from the perspective of the LFG mod, which is who Amanda is, like people coming to the dock like, hey, I'm here for them. Oh, they left? Oh, okay, I'll be back a little while later. But yeah, so I had played Derwent's game and I had 2 left, and Zach Morris made a game called Action Retrieval Ice Maze Torture or something like that. with a note that said, "Warning, I don't expect this to be fun." They were wrong. It was really quite entertaining. And but it was custom made to fill my bingo card, which was very appreciated. So I did actually get a blackout, and then so I got 25 games on my bingo card, which is kind of my just like personal goal, my metagame that I'm playing with myself. And yes. Well, yeah. Derwent had 2 games already, so didn't have to do that. But Zach, yeah, Zach had this more specific action retrieval was the first thing that we processed, and then as we were playing it, we're like, you know how it could be different is, well, I think I proposed like a challenge. Like I meant it pretty much seriously and believed in the ability of it to happen. I think, like, okay, so we finished this broken game in like I don't know, 15 or so minutes of playing it, and we have ideas of how we would like it to be different. So could we just implement them, and there could be also action drafting? And Zach was like, "Oh, yes, this is okay. So next time we play, this is your action market, and after you do this, you can take an action from the market." It's really that simple, folks. And it turned out to be a pretty fun game. It was called Duck Duck Wall. Yeah, we made up a new name for it as well by just what Shanti was the person. Shanti and Lauren were playing it with me, and Shanti was narrating his moves and said "Duck Duck Wall," and a new game name was born. So that was super fun, and big shout out to Zach and also Shanti and Lauren for playing with me late at night after our official close time had already passed. But I don't. We have a closing time of midnight Eastern time in the U.S. officially, but because we don't have a convention center kicking us out, I don't do that because I don't like it when the convention center does it to me. So I don't do it to our I'm so confused. This has got to be maybe I don't do it to our attendees. Wait. There's got to be a missing piece. Right? Okay. Because this is not gonna fit there. Okay. Let me see this. Insider fruit trading. So it's an I. Eider. Wow, it really seems like there's a piece missing. How funny that that could happen on a digital surface. This one, this one. ING. This is the end. Trading. Yeah, I don't think you can hear the sounds of this. I think it's probably muted. I can't hear it because I don't have my headphones in, but yeah, the little snap that this makes as it finds. Oh, okay. This is the I. But I can't even see any little, it's like right on the, I can't even see any letter on it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Figured it out. Okay. All the pieces will come back now. Yeah, so I guess, something that is very Protospiel ethos, I can attest to it for the in-person ones, have this vibe a lot because of the, especially because of the parts table that generally Game Crafter sponsors at most of the Protospiels. There is a vibe of, oh, look at that! I accidentally just picked that piece up just by moving the frame over. All right, a gimme. Um, yeah, that there's an air of like, actually, let's have some things that we just made today happening here at Protospiel, and like the idea of a challenge from designer to designer. When Zach Hoekstra was one of our organizers, this really arrived out of Denver, that Zach wanted to have like really weird things on, really odd pieces on the table, and have it be a thing to pick one of those and go to another designer and say, I challenge you to make a game that uses this piece meaningfully. And yeah, it was the only time we ever hosted Denver in 2020, right as the pandemic kind of landed on us. So we never iterated on that idea. That idea was had when, all the emails had already been sent out and everything. But I have tried to carry that forward in a way that we could do with, distributed around the world, also with the Game Crafter, and some like bits sets that we can gift to each other if we want to buy a relatively cheap, like $10 plus shipping bit set from the Game Crafter, and share it with a designer friend from our community and say, I challenge you, make something. Of course, it would be nice if we also had some tabletops with digital pieces, so that we're like 1-to-1, and that step has never been done. So that might be part of why people don't use the challenge very much, but it is it is free. It is there in the community. It technically works. We've had a couple, speaking of Shanti has asked for a challenge and kind of engaged with the tool, tested it a little bit. And I think it has promise, but it needs more. I think we would need to put more focused communication around, hey, let's do it right now, and kind of try to do it all at the same time, I think, for it to get really used. But someday maybe that will be something that there is bandwidth for. At least the groundwork is laid for it. But the bingo card kind of turned out to be something that organically caused a design challenge to happen and be fulfilled, at least this session. It doesn't usually happen that way, and I did something a little different this time, and I think it's going to be how I do it from now on. Is I sort of live journaled about my bingo card. Usually I just keep it kind of by my side and fill it out while I'm not taking my moves in the game that I'm playtesting. But okay, this is going to be there in etc. But this time, every 4 or so squares that I filled out, I made a post in the Play Bingo channel in the sponsored hall, and tagged the few people that I had added, and showed a play-by-play of, okay, now I've got more squares filled out. Now I have this many bingo patterns. I'm on my way to a blackout, right? So I was giving people a place to see that my goal was a blackout, like, while I was doing it live, and I think that helped. I think that was probably why this ended up happening with Zach's game. Okay, do you have a game? Wait, idea on bits you would put in the kits? Do I have an idea of bits I would put in the kits? I have made the kits. I think I know I have them. I think they're in a different room than this right now, where I could almost like open them and show them to you. But I can show them to you on the Game Crafter, or if you want to, I'm going to keep this. I could show you at the end after I've done this if you want. Or you could just go to the Game Crafter and you could search for Protospiel online. And then you'd find our products, and they're among our products. There's 4 of them, and there's 10? I think there might be, don't quote me on this, there might be like 15 bits, and the challenge is to use 10 out of 15 at least. And you are welcome to add all kinds of other bits too, but the point is to use a handful of them meaningfully. Hatter. But they're, I chose them based on sort of what Game Crafter has. I also like the idea. Actually, no, I added this already. I added this as a note, and this is both here. Let me. Sorry. Okay, I'll go back to here so you can see me larger. This is one of the things that's going to be given away in our giveaway for people who earned entries in bingo the next time that we do a live stream for the giveaway, which will be June 1st for attendees that came this time. And if you didn't attend, you can still come and play games with Chris Michaud or Flip the Table Chris, if you remember him from the Flip the Table podcast. He's made up a little game that we're going to play together. It's going to be a new live stream chat game. And 3 attendees will win like swag, like a t-shirt similar to the one I'm wearing, or a sticker of your choice. We have different sizes, a couple different styles. So anyway, but this is one of the things we'll be giving away too for people who attended and earned entries. It's actually part of this bundle of 3 bits sets. So Panda also has their own kind of bits ecosystem, and these are their sample packs. So 2 winners are going to get this set of 3 boxes, winners anywhere in the world. And this is one of the challenges you can give, is like use this bit set, and you can buy this for I think like $15 from Panda. And it has things in it that are made to go together. So it has a few very generic wooden bits, and then some cute little dice that are the same color as those bits. The bits are in like one of each like geometric shape, so there's a lot of things that could happen there. And then there's this package of stickers that has, I think those shapes and some other things are represented on them. And then there's some cards that are just sort of blueprint, which goes with our branding too, which is fun, that you could put the stickers on and they would, but yeah, it's meant to inspire designers' ideas. Oh yeah, there's some tiles in there too. Some just square tiles that are also blueprinty. So this is, I believe, one of the options you can challenge people to already. I think I did the work to make that physically possible. So I can show you that. Oh, you know what? No, this is kind of what it would be like if you got it from the Game Crafter. It would just come in a box like this size. It wouldn't have an outer box, but it would come in a baggie. This is a collection of, this is my leavings after I took the photo, after I did the photo shoot. But this is not perfect, but this is close to the what it would be like to get the acrylic bit set. Don't quote me on exactly what's in it. I think that this may or may not be may or may not be the set of them that I took a picture of for the product page. But yeah, the product page has a picture of it. Okay, I'll get back to the point of this. Sorry, sidetracks. I guess that's the fun of live stream, right? Is we have that option to have you kind of prompt what we're talking about if you're watching live. So yeah, I love the idea of being creative like that, like like encouraging, challenging each other to be creative with different prompts like this, or doing some kind of jam. Like a game jam is something that Break My Game has a system for, and that's a type of fundraiser that Break My Game runs convention. But I don't know if I would say this is like criticism. Seems like a really harsh word. It's not really criticism, but I can't think of the more exact word for it right now. I wish I knew when they were running them like the way they know when I'm running Protospiel Online. I set the dates for Protospiel Online consistently to happen in the same month each year, which helps everybody else plan around, and ideally, we can kind of pass the ball back and forth, like, okay, you're doing this then, and I'll be doing this then. And yeah, if it would be great if we could coordinate timing of when a jam would usually happen, but I know that it's not easy for them to commit to a certain month of the year or a certain cadence right now, like because it's been suggested and it's been asked like, when can I plan for this to happen, and it's like occasionally is the answer right now. um uh Shay says, my bad for sidetracking. You run a design meetup and love challenges. Oh, you'd love to give challenges to them. Yes. It's also part of the trouble also with the challenges. I designed it as, I started out sharing it sort of as an email list thing in a separate platform. It wasn't associated with our Discord server because I wanted it to be open to the public, and our Discord server wasn't built in a way that could hold that nature. So I put it somewhere else to quickly launch it at some point, and it really wasn't working to have to manage two different places where these kind of things were being kept track of or shared or participated in. So when I first was making it and talking about it, it wasn't in the server, and then I changed the way it worked, and I never really did any kind of marketing promotion about it, like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is the thing we're doing. I just said I built the thing to support everything that I wanted to ever possibly be able to have happen in the community server, so that I wouldn't so that I could make high level decisions about the roles that needed to exist and like not be changing the channels that existed. I just launched it all at once, and I've really never done marketing of like, and this is what we can do now, and focus on that one thing. And also we can do this now. There are a lot of things. In fact, it's even kind of hard for me to just like remember and rattle off the top of. It's not like I've made my elevator pitch for it or whatever. So, nature of, maybe like that. Okay. Therein. But so if you look in our server, you'll see design challenge, I believe, and that is in the free part of our server that anybody can join, whether they intend to ever come to the online convention itself or not. They can join the free community on our website. I can give you the link for that too. Well, actually, I can give you the link for that. It's going to be also shared from the design challenge bits sets on GameCrafter. But let me check that I'm just from memory writing this link. Let me make sure this works. This is the one I think I'm giving you. Yeah. This is the free community. This is not how you join the convention. You can join the free community and then later buy a badge, and then more of the Discord server will be opened up to you. But if you join through this link, you'll be able to see the design challenge channel that I'm talking about, and as well as other things, all the other things that I'm talking about here that I made space for. Whether or not we're using it very much, the space is there in the server now. So your local design friends that have never come or interacted with Protospiel Online do not have to wait until we are having another convention weekend or badges are on sale to just get in the server and see what I'm talking about here. Okay. Is this Feast and Folly here? Okay. Therein lies the nature. Oh, did I get that one for free too? How funny. Okay. Oh yeah. This one, that's right. This one spans the whole line. Gotcha. Okay, there it is, right there. All right, I'll put this kind of there. Yes, you're welcome for the links. Save them. Yes, thanks for using them. Jack is, I believe, listening in the in the live audience right now, and I've talked to them about some different things that I, intend to make available to people, and haven't really quite. It's been like months, Jack, and I still haven't gotten the ambassador kits we talked about squared away, because they involve, like, physical merch stuff is hairy. I mean, as everybody can imagine, also, like, things such as tariffs can touch physical products. Yeah, Jack is lurking. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, so the idea is to have ambassador kits where you can get some fun, like, swag that I've made. This is also, I have that near at hand. It is also associated with the, oh goodness, I'm tiny, I know. Well, yeah, you can see this. Yeah, you can see this on the tiny. So, there's also some buttons that are purchasable, print on demand, or I've made them. I've created the patterns. I've done a lot of the work to make it possible to buy them, and haven't gotten them actually put into a e-commerce platform that would allow me to take your money and send it to you. Also, I keep having a lot of you have free time to contribute to making them available for sale. Yeah, it might help. The other, I heard I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, I've been listening to for a long time, and they do kind of start getting repetitive. Like, okay, this is this podcaster's perspective. They keep saying the same thing, right? I found a new one that is for an entrepreneurial topic, and this lady is refreshing to me. Her name is Tara McMillan or McMillans. And she has a podcast called What Works. And she said something where I was like, preach. She said a few things like that. I'm like, thank you for saying that out loud, because so much pressure is given, like, if you're trying to learn how to run a business by yourself, or you're trying to learn to start a business, really key concept is delegation is important to learn how to do. And I'm not arguing with that. Okay. But something that Tara said that I thought, yeah, that kind of sums up what the struggle here is that when you delegate something, it also becomes something you have to manage. It becomes something you have to have the bandwidth to explain the goal of, answer questions about it to help the person who is helping you. And so the problem with a lot of these things that people are willing to help with is that I have to have the bandwidth to manage it. I'm not at a stage where I can delegate the management of it, levels upon levels. So the question is, can it be prioritized? Can I find the time to give the instructions? Yeah. And the question is too, is like, should it be the priority? And that is like, the decision-making load of deciding what the priority should be. There are fair reasons to call it a priority, because it would help the meaning behind it, and it's something that has been asked for. So it's not like something I'm just making up, like, it'd be neat, like, let's see if we can do this. This is like just built on, just like, being curious to see if I could do it or not, right? It's not something like that. It's not a total spaghetti at the wall thing. It's something like people have said, I want, like, can we have a ambassador program? Like, how should I help? Like, when I say invite people, help invite people to Protospiel online, people are like, I want to help me help you, you know. And this is going to be Frank. This is like right here. Yeah. Yes, but well, and it's also, I don't know what's going to work for people because Protospiel Online is a little bit difficult to market. We're a niche within a niche within a niche, like board game design online that doesn't use Tabletop Simulator. Right? So there are a lot of obstacle or objections that people are going to have to it, that if you want to talk somebody into coming, whether you're an attendee who just wants their friend to enjoy it with you, or you're me trying to market it to the masses, you have to kind of there's a lot of trial and error in figuring out what the people's objections are going to be and how to, not arguing with people, but how to help them see a different perspective, I guess, on how it might be easier to deal with than they are picturing in their mind, or it might be more fun than they're picturing in their mind. And, you know, some of the objections are also valid, like some people just really have trouble being, like, having the energy, like it drains their energy to connect over a Zoom call type thing. Different people have different temperaments, and that's okay too. So it's kind of like a art to know how to tell when it's time to stop pushing, and to say no, that's fine, you know, and not have it feel like intimidating, like you might get into a debate with them or something, because you're sharing a different perspective. I wonder if this is grunts. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's kind of an advanced thing to ask people to just do when talking to their friends. And it almost kind of like, that's sort of what the ambassador program would entail if I was releasing it too, I feel like, is it would come along with advice like this, or even maybe chances to get together and talk as a group about, like, oh, I tried this and it didn't really work. What do y'all think? You know what I mean? The idea is definitely to have a place where people buy the ambassador kit, where they're identified in our server as ambassadors. They can talk to each other and share strategies. My thought has been that it would be nice, that I think I would enjoy also, talking about what I am doing to market Protospiel with those people, and it could potentially, like, the benefit would be being a fly on the wall with what I am doing could help you learn how to market any of your own stuff, whatever that means to you, to market something. To, a lot of the same ideas of selling badges are like pitching your game to a publisher, or just to a table of people who you want to play it, so you can get a play test, not at Protospiel Online or Protospiel in person. Oh, okay. Champions. This is Champions of Adenir. Champ IONS of. Okay. This one. There we go. Okay, that's all put together. I was, very pleasantly surprised at how well it worked to make a picture that had words. I think words are like really actually satisfying to put together as a jigsaw puzzle, and I made it into these colored blocks, which helps me, it has something to do with the degree of difficulty of this puzzle, that there are solid blocks, but they're not all in the same place. And of course, like there's dark purple with light blue. There's like 5 or so different combos possible. So Shay says, yeah, you're at a stage of your RPG doing promotions and marketing and making press kit and sell sheets, and it feels overwhelming. Yeah. So you can imagine for a big convention. I think it's so funny that people think of Protospiel Online as a big convention. My goodness. Compared to something like Origins or Gen Con, 100 people come usually each time. So it's funny how the impression that it gives it's a big event, I guess because it's online, and so it's sort of big in the sense that potentially billions of people could find it on the internet, but that's not the truth of the matter. It's more like thousands of people read the webpage. But yeah, okay. And it's also it has been, I think most of the time I experience it as a good challenge that I feel like I'm growing and learning because I'm doing it. So it's not a super successful business in terms of like profitability or whatever, but it's very challenging because it's challenging even just like to talk about when I am at a party or something and people ask me what I do, and I don't want to ramble on. I just want to kind of move on to not making myself the focus of the conversation. There's got to be a light purple with a dark purple. This? No, not that one. With the bot, and it's not going to have very many letters on it. Interesting. It's not popping out at me. But I'll just say I run an online board game playtesting convention, and then people say, "What?" And I say, "We playtest board games that are meant to be played over the tabletop, but there are tools online that you can simulate it. We get together in a voice call and we play them together. We use Discord to do it." Oh, what's Discord? Okay. You know what I mean? So there's a matter of like thinking of people like, who already knows how to use Discord at least, or who already understands board games, playtesting at least. And there's many of these different kind of things that don't all do the same thing. We are where all these things come together, but each of those audiences need to be taught different things and have help understanding different things. That's where I go back to kind of the objections that I mentioned. So and also big in the sense of like the name brings some gravitas. Yeah. Getting 100 people to Discord calls into Discord calls for a weekend and have the energy to play new games and learn new games is a lot. Yeah. Oh, okay. You're doing speech to text. I see. This is how you're. Yeah, it's getting long. I'm not reading it word for word. Just showing people exactly what you said, because for the sake of the YouTube replay, I try to make sure to put as much as I can that comes into the chat on the screen. So when I export this and put it on YouTube, people know what I'm referring to. Yeah, it doesn't work perfectly though, because the emojis do not come through. So if you are communicating an emoji, which is fun for Twitch and fun for the live audience, it does not make any sense for the viewers seeing the replay and the screen. Oh my goodness. Is it like, I don't know. I need to give up right now. I'll find it, I'm sure. What cask? I can't remember what that is. Cascade. Okay, yeah. Just one word. This one I'm not familiar with it. It's also possible. These are things that are put on the website. You don't necessarily have to play test it at the event if you put it on the website. The idea is you're saying it's one that you're working on currently and you plan to have ready or do have ready. But if you this is already attached there. I gotcha. But if you don't bring it, nobody is watching you or going to punish you for it. Okay. So it's possible that Cascade got shared on the website, but I don't remember seeing it in the other, not that my memory's perfect, but in the other puzzles that I made for August. So it may have only been shared on the website. And that's the thing that these puzzles are intended to help showcase, is that there are a lot of different ways for those people who do bring their prototypes to Protospiel online. There are a lot of ways to share your games, and if you use all the optional ways that we make available for you, the intention here is to reward people who do that with more being featured in more kinds of puzzles. You could be featured in up to 4 kinds of puzzles per convention. Now I'm doing 4 different types. These are the ones here are shared to the listing. The ones, if you share in the listing and you turn on bingo matching and add some tags to your game, I make a crossword puzzle that out of those folks. And then if you actually play test at the event, you get in a word search. And if you share a cell sheet, you get in a puzzle that's called a crisscross. It's sort of like a mashup between a jigsaw puzzle and a crossword, and almost in sort of like a word search too, because it has a word list like a word search, but you're dropping the words into a crossword puzzle thing in a way that they can only fit one way, similar to a jigsaw puzzle. The mashup. Ashay says, you're gonna start lurking now. You need to work on said press kit. Speaking of which, yeah, yeah, you'll at most get a playtester badge. I like that plan, Ashay, and I wish you luck in having the game itself ready, because I know that is gratifying when you can when you can do the thing you really meant, use Protospiel as the way you really meant to use it. Frank? Yeah, okay. Where does this probably goes right here. Yeah, it's probably right here. Okay. I probably don't really need to do hard mode if I'm stopping and talking to people. I can open this up, I guess, and just leave it open. I think, yeah, I don't want the pieces to be under it, but I think the interface is pretty good overall for a homebrewed sort of online jigsaw puzzle. Like, you know, it's not a video game that has been specifically made to, you know, make a beautiful experience with music and stuff like some jigsaw puzzle video games are, but it works. And it took me, once I had the picture, it took me 5 minutes to make the puzzle. So, and get it shareable for people. Here, there we go. There we go. I might be getting to that close to done tipping point. There's not a ton of spaces left. A Taste for the King. Yeah, and A Taste for the King too. I just played that 12 hours ago. This was the game that I asked Derwent to put in looking for a game so that I could play something that he brought. The other one he had was Domino City, and was looking for unguided playtests, and no, that's not right. And I've played it a couple times, so I wasn't the best. This is one tough thing. If you bring a game and you bring it back, like, so this means, like, here's an example. Taste for the King was in the August listing, at least on the website. Whether or not Derwin actually got it on the table, I'm not sure. He was saying it had been a year since the last time he actually play tested it, so it's possible that he put it in the listing mostly just to raise hand and say, I'm still working on this. even if he didn't ever really feel like that was the game he most wanted to test when once the convention was actually running. But there. But it was in the listing for August, and it will be in the puzzles again for May once they're made, and I'm sharing them. Their suitcase. All right. This okay. All right. But yeah, that's a common thing for people to bring a prototype and bring it back. I know when I first released the prototype listing in the first year or so, we had it on the website. I would hear from people, oh, it feels like really discouraging to list it again when I've listed it before. And it's like a failure that it made people feel like a failure that it wasn't done and they needed to bring it back. And I think it's maybe become, and maybe these puzzle streams will, more people who have seen at least one and hear me talking about this may help normalize it too. It's very normal to be working on a game. And, people need to take breaks sometimes too, to be working on a game for a few years. And be bringing it back to show people how it progressed. I suppose it's best to have, something new to look at each time you bring it back. But it's like, I see it as a win that you're bringing it back. You're still working on iterating it, and it's not bad. And that's one of my favorite things about doing these puzzles. Like, I am enjoying doing them. I think I would say that is maybe a piece of advice we have been talking about marketing. Piece of advice that I feel like is wise in my experience is find something that you enjoy doing enough that it won't be so much of a chore that you won't want to do it. And I feel like these puzzles are like that. I enjoy making them. It's almost like akin to scrapbooking, like looking back into the past and making something out of these memories. When I make the puzzles, it feels like that, and then it's fun to share them with you and talk to all of you about it. But since I was mentioning Taste for the King, let me actually spit out what it is. It's a bluffing game that usually a pretty large group of people. It's meant to go up to a pretty large group of people at once and be about being at a feast and trying to avoid getting poisoned, and the whole table in the iteration I've played it many times through the years, and it's been a lot of different things have been tried with the game. But the last time I played it last night, it was about everybody else at the table can see the cards that are on offer to you, and you'll go around the table and say something about it. And then you, as the person who can't see the cards, but people have said that card this and this card that, you decide which one you want. If any of them you want to discard, if any of them you want to give to someone besides yourself, any of them you want to keep for yourself, and you're trying to have been the one who ate the most food without getting different kinds of dishes without getting poisoned. So that's what we did last night. And yeah, shout out to Derwent for staying up super late for somebody who's in the UK. It was already late for me, and Derwent is 6 to 8 hours ahead of me where I live. So yeah, so that's the last one for August. That was one of 5 jigsaw puzzles that I needed to make to fit all the names that were shared in August on the website. So I've been watching, the titles that came in for May, and I think that we probably were a little ahead of the number of playtests that got done at the event. So it's possible that I'll have to make more puzzles for May than I had to make for August and January. We will see how it goes. But yeah, next time I come back and do Minigame Monday, next week, the same time, will be we will be doing the first one in January, and it will be, I believe, a word search, things that were play tested, actually got posted in Looking for a Game and got play tested. So thanks for joining me, folks, in chat. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for coming by and seeing this puzzle and hearing the stories from the day immediately after Protospiel Online May. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.